So what's going on? Welcome back to another breakdown slash behind the song. For starters, if you guys are here, this song is called Never Been Here Before. This is a really cool fact. My goal was to get 1,000 plays on Spotify on this song in like 3 months. We did it in under a month. Like, that's insane. So I really appreciate all the support on it. It's one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. So to make something that you really love and then put it out there and to see that other people are enjoying it as well is an amazing feeling. So yeah, let me jump in and start telling you guys some background about this song. So in November, I released my first song under my name, Torrey, called Like I Never Met You. So Like I Never Met You was kind of like an accident. I didn't have a plan for it. I had never made a song in that style before, but I just knew I loved it. So once I released it, I definitely felt a little stuck, but I was excited to try to make something else in the same ballpark. Because basically the way I'm looking at it, this is the season I'm in. Like, I'm in this kind of indie era, kind of trying to sprinkle some jazz into the indie. But that, to me, that was just my understanding. Like, this is the era that I'm in. This is the kind of music I've been enjoying listening to. So I'm going to hopefully keep trying to make music like that. But I also didn't have a ton of time, and I really didn't have a direction on where to go next. So to me, this is the best fun fact about the whole entire song. To start the song, my friend Ruck sent me this. So I knew right when I heard that, I was like, oh, we got a banger on our hands. I knew right then and there. These guitar parts are so good to me. They're like probably my favorite part of the song. I love these guitars. So I knew, personally, I like guitar parts. I don't want no one guitar player playing the whole thing and like all this kind of stuff. I love giving, hey, like you get these two strings, you get these two strings. And then like it just, when you build a guitar part, you get a more completed vibe. And then it just really fills out the production. So I mean, I have 4 total guitar parts going on at one time. But I knew from that moment on that like, okay, so just between the bass, the drums, and then I ended up adding some percussion to the drums. So this is my solid foundation of the song that I wrote majority of the song to. So I knew after I put all those elements together that I was onto something. And those sections then led me to write. So I was like, okay, while we're here, let me just start writing. And I'm trying to do a better job. I think I do better music production when there's lyrics as I produce. Because then I'm able to, now I know what space the lyrics are taking up. And then it's all about how can I complement the lyrics from that standpoint. Going into the chorus, I knew I wanted to have a song that was based around like not words. I feel like a lot of times I'm trying to think of all these words, and I was like, man, I'm gonna try to write something where there's like a ooh or a ah or something in it. And that's basically how I got the start of the chorus. And then I also wrote it with, I knew I wanted to have that lead vocal, background vocal relationship where they're kind of going back and forth. So all of that was pre-thought of before I even start, like as I was writing the lyrics, that's what I was thinking of. I knew my leads would be down the middle, but then the background vocals on the outside. So what you get is like a call in the middle and then a response on the outside of your headphones. And so that was kind of the whole idea behind the chorus, which is this. In my life, but ooh, that's your call. Never been here before. Response. A critical point, but there's some things we can and ooh, middle. You never knew, but I'm sure outside. You're the one worth fighting for, baby, I'm yours. So as the song was developing, all of this was happening back to back to back, and it all happened kind of in like a day or two. Like it didn't take that long. But there was a couple lines that I didn't know what to say, and then I called up my friend and he's probably in every single breakdown I've done so far, C Maze. So called him and was like, yo, I got this joint I'm working on. 2 lines, I got the melody. I don't know what to say though. So, ooh, we never been here before. And then a critical point, but there's some things we can't ignore. That's C Maze. Then, ooh, you never knew, but I'm sure. And then you're the one we're fighting for, baby, I'm yours. Also C Maze. Shout out to him. I started writing when it was kind of still bare, which is why that led me to what I think is one of the most unique parts of the song for me, which is the heavy background vocals during the second verse. I'm not a background vocals guy. So fast when I knew I couldn't let you go. My heart crashed when I thought you'd leave, but now we gotta get back to what we had when I first met you and let you go. And I just wanna know if... So then you have that whole back and forth between the background vocals and the lead vocals for the whole second verse. So that's one thing with this song in particular. I wrote the verse with space for maybe I can fit background vocals here. So then at this point, I think in the song, I was at the point of fear. And what I mean by fear is you got something going that's good, but it's not complete. So then I'm like, all right. Now I don't want to mess it up. And so that's when it starts getting really scary as a song, because I need to fill out the production. So I went crazy with the keys, but everything is so subtle. Like when I say everything is super duper subtle. So the keys by themselves, I mean, the main element of keys that I added was like this. And my whole thinking behind this and these choices was the rest of the song is dancing. Like the guitars, the drums, the bass, it's all encouraging you to dance. So my keys need to mimic that same vibe. I was gonna go with like a more sustained keys, but the moment you have a sustained key, then it mellows everything out. And this is my chorus. I don't want my chorus to feel more mellow than my verses. So I was like, my keys need to have a groove to them as well. So let me just show you guys all the different layers that is involved in this. And a lot of this is actually an influence from one of my favorite artists. He might be my favorite artist now, is Jordan Rucker. And Jordan Rucker, on his song Send My Love, he used like 3 to 4 synths, like lead synths, to make up one synth line. And so I think that was my thought process when creating this. So there's a lot of little synth lines, like this one, and then this one. And then I think it might just be those two, but these two make up the lead line. So the lead line is actually this. So it's 2 different sounds creating that line, not just one synth. This would be a nightmare to play live. And then this one, which is just a splice loop. You can barely hear it. I'll turn it up. So the point behind that, I was really looking, once again, I would say a big part of this song is actually heavily influenced by Jordan Rucker's Send My Love. And in that song, Jordan Rucker has like these rhythmic synths that are just supporting, and they're very background. And so for this, I put it in and I was like, is this doing anything? I took it out and I was like, this is doing a lot. So it stayed in the record. And then what is this? Okay, I know exactly what that is. So I have a guitar part that's playing a very similar part. Let me go find it. And to give it some different character and some different texture, I chose to make a synth part play that same part, but just on your left side. So that guitar is playing it on your right side. The synth part is playing it on your left side. Is that the right button? So it's the same part, but it's just played by 2 different instruments on different sides of your ear. So it's just helping create some texture and some differences. I actually love that. And then the last part of all the synths was this, which is just, I learned this from, I think it's Ian Kirkpatrick, the guy who produces like Dua Lipa. He's done a lot of other stuff. He's amazing. But he talks about a lot of times sneaking synths behind vocals to support the vocal. And so I did this. And the whole idea behind that was I just wanted to support the lead vocal. It's funny because somebody on my TikTok, shout out to Jordan if he sees this, but he was like, is that a doorbell sound? And I didn't even recognize it. It does sound like a doorbell sound, but if you guys seen the visuals for this song, I'm knocking on a door. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. That wasn't my intention for a doorbell, but I love when art comes together. Unintentional art just lines up. Oh my God, y'all, the keys by themselves sound so good. Let me just let y'all hear the keys by themselves. Amazing. So to me, the best part of the song is the post chorus after the second chorus, which I sneak some chords in there. So like I told you, I'm kind of in my indie phase, but me having a jazz background, I still want to try to throw in some harmony, throw in a little some type of surprise, something to catch the listener off guard. And so what that was for me in this song is that post chorus. And there's a harmony thing that you can do where if you move a minor chord up a minor third, if you move something up a minor third, doesn't have to be a minor chord. If you move something up a minor third 4 times, you end up back where you started. So that's what I did here. So we go from E minor to G minor to B flat minor to C sharp minor back to E minor. So that's what this post chorus is. So I'm gonna do it without the vocals. Awesome. So after I had that was always there as an instrumental, but I knew I needed to connect that to the song or it's gonna feel random. And so I was like, okay, well, what can I do to connect it to the song? And I was really struggling, y'all. I had called my friend Charles about it. I was like, yo, something needs to go here. And so fun fact about me, I'm not a singer. So I very much so view my voice as like a piano or a trumpet or it's another instrument. So all the choices I make vocally are very instrumental choices. So I was like, well, what can I do here that will set it apart and glue the song together? And as I was sitting there trying to figure that out, one day I was just messing around with it and I was like, maybe I could do, it's like voice leading in jazz where, well, it's not just jazz thing, it's a music thing in general. But I was thinking about voice leading and I was like, maybe if I just barely move each one of the voices, like so that they still match the chords, but I'm saying something. And that was my idea. I shot it to my friend Charles and I was like, what do you think of this? And he was like, because he sent me an idea and I was really trying to execute his idea. But while trying to execute his idea, I found my own idea. And so when I sent it to him, he's like, you found a better idea for this. And I was like, really? I was like, yes. So then all this made sense. So then the post-chorus is like this thing. I'm very proud of that. And then to make it even more interesting to me, I decided to turn them down. Well, I didn't mix it. I asked Jariuce to turn them down in the mix because I want them to barely be audible. If you guys don't know, I am a student of D'Angelo. And D'Angelo loves to sing and make sure that you don't know what he's singing. And so that was kind of my whole thought process behind that in itself was like, I love the idea of like you not being able to know what I'm saying, but you're vibing. I love the idea of like you not being able to tell what's really going on there. Like I want you to lean in and try to figure out what's going on. What is he saying? I don't know. I want that in that moment. But for the most part, yeah, this song came out, but I'm super grateful for this song because I really was stuck. And now I'm back in the same situation, baby. We stuck again. I don't know what's next for Torrey as far as the music goes. I think the next Torrey single is going to be a branch out. I think I'm going to take a step out and do something a little different. In the same wheelhouse, but different for me. I